Welcome back to our Ontario First-Time Home Buyer series. In this fourth video, we're uncovering the hidden costs and legal considerations that many first-time buyers in Ontario don't anticipate. The purchase price of your home is just the beginning. There are numerous additional expenses and legal requirements specific to Ontario that can add thousands of dollars to your total cost. Being prepared for these expenses will help you avoid financial stress and ensure a smooth closing process. Today, we'll walk through all the costs beyond your down payment and mortgage, plus the key legal considerations every Ontario buyer should understand. Let's dive in. One of the largest closing costs unique to Ontario is the provincial land transfer tax. This tax is calculated based on the purchase price of your property using a graduated system. 0.5% on the first $55,000, 1% on the portion between $55,000 and $250,000. 1.5% on the portion between $250,000 and $400,000, 2% on the portion between $400,000 and $2 million, 2.5% on any amount over $2 million. For example, on a typical $800,000 home in Ontario, the land transfer tax would be approximately $12,475. The good news for first-time buyers is that Ontario offers a rebate of up to $4,000 in 2025, which significantly reduces this tax burden. To qualify, you must be a first-time homebuyer at least 18 years old, a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and plan to occupy the home as your principal residence within 9 months of purchase. The rebate is typically processed automatically during closing when working with your lawyer, but always confirm that they're applying for it on your behalf. If you're buying in Toronto, you'll face an additional municipal land transfer tax on top of the provincial tax. Toronto's municipal land transfer tax mirrors the provincial tax structure, essentially doubling your tax burden. On that same $800,000 home, you'd pay another $12,475 in municipal tax, bringing your total land transfer taxes to nearly $24,950. However, Toronto also offers first-time buyers a rebate of up to $4,475, which helps offset this cost. The eligibility requirements match the provincial program, and both rebates can be applied simultaneously. If you qualify for both the provincial and Toronto rebates, your total land transfer tax on an $800,000 home would be reduced from about $24,950 to approximately $16,475. Still significant, but much more manageable. This substantial tax difference is one reason why some first-time buyers choose to purchase just outside Toronto's boundaries, in neighboring municipalities like Mississauga, Vaughan, or Markham, where only the provincial tax applies. Working with a real estate lawyer is not just recommended in Ontario, it's essential for a legally sound transaction. Legal fees for a home purchase typically range from $1,500 to $2,500, depending on the complexity of the transaction and the lawyer's experience. This fee covers the lawyer's professional services, including reviewing your purchase agreement, conducting title searches, and preparing and registering legal documents. In addition to the base legal fee, you'll also pay for disbursements expenses your lawyer incurs on your behalf. These typically include title insurance, $250 to $400, protecting against title defects or fraud registration fees, $75 to $100 per document, registered tax certificates, $50 to $100, confirming property tax status, execution searches, $50 to $100, checking for judgments against the seller, courier and administrative fees, $100 to $200. When selecting a real estate lawyer, look for someone who specializes in residential real estate in your specific region of Ontario. Experience with first-time buyers is also valuable, as they'll be more likely to explain complex legal concepts in understandable terms. Don't choose solely based on price. The cheapest option isn't always the best when it comes to protecting your significant investment. While a home inspection isn't legally required in Ontario, it's strongly recommended, even in competitive markets where inspection conditions are becoming less common. A standard home inspection costs from $400 to $600, depending on the property size and age. For older homes, which are common in many Ontario neighborhoods, specialized inspections might be necessary. A standard home inspection costs from $400 to $600, depending on the property's size and age. For older homes, which are common in many Ontario neighborhoods, specialized inspections might be necessary. Sewer scope inspection, from $150 to $250 to check for root intrusion or pipe damage. Sewer scope inspection, from $150 to $250 to check for root intrusion or pipe damage. Electrical inspection, from $200 to $300, especially for homes with knob and tube wiring. Structural engineering assessment, from $500 to $700 if foundation issues are suspected. Well and septic inspections, from $300 to $500 for rural properties. While these costs add up, they're minimal compared to the potential expense of major repairs discovered after purchase. A thorough inspection can also provide negotiating leverage if significant issues are found. While these costs add up, they're minimal compared to the potential expense of major repairs discovered after purchase. A thorough inspection can also provide negotiating leverage if significant issues are found. While these costs add up, they're minimal compared to the potential expense of major repairs discovered after purchase. A thorough inspection can also provide negotiating leverage if significant issues are found. To find a qualified inspector, look for membership in professional organizations like the Ontario Association of Home Inspectors or the Canadian Association of Home and Property Inspectors. Property taxes vary significantly across Ontario municipalities and are an ongoing expense you'll need to budget for. Tax rates are calculated as a percentage of your property's assessed value, with rates ranging from approximately 0.6% to 1.5% annually, depending on the municipality. For example, Toronto's residential tax rate is lower than many surrounding areas, but higher property values often result in similar total tax amounts. During closing, property taxes are typically adjusted between buyer and seller, ensuring each party pays only for their period of ownership. If the seller has prepaid taxes beyond the closing date, you'll reimburse them as part of your closing costs. It's important to note that the Municipal Property Assessment Corporation, MPAC, reassesses property values every 4 years in Ontario. After purchasing, your property may be reassessed, potentially increasing your tax burden. Budget for possible increases, especially if you purchased a recently renovated property or in a rapidly appreciating neighborhood. Many lenders offer property tax payment programs, collecting monthly amounts with your mortgage payment and remitting them to the municipality on your behalf. Several types of insurance are either required or strongly recommended when buying a home in Ontario. Home insurance is mandatory for all mortgaged properties and typically costs $800, $1,500 annually, depending on your home's value, location, and features. Ontario's weather extremes, including winter storms and summer flooding in some areas, make comprehensive coverage particularly important. Title insurance, usually a one-time premium of $250 $400, protects against ownership issues like title defects, survey problems, or fraud. Most lenders require this, and it's well worth the cost for the protection it provides. If your down payment is less than 20%, mortgage default insurance, CMHC insurance, is required, with premiums ranging from 2.8% to 4% of your mortgage amount. This can add thousands to your mortgage, but is unavoidable with smaller down payments. For condos, your monthly maintenance fees typically include building insurance, but you'll still need a personal policy to cover your unit's contents and any improvements. Insurance costs are often overlooked in the excitement of home buying, but should be factored into both your closing budget and ongoing homeownership expenses. When you take possession of your new home, you'll need to set up various utilities and services, many of which involve setup fees or deposits. Typical utility setup costs in Ontario include hydro, electricity, $100 $200 deposit for new accounts, natural gas, $25 50 connection fee, water and waste, $30 $100 account setup fee, internet and cable, $50 $150 installation fees, security systems, $100 $300 activation fees. Ontario's electricity costs are among the highest in Canada, with the average household spending $100 $200 monthly. Natural gas for heating, especially important during Ontario winters, typically costs $80 $150 monthly during peak season. Energy efficiency becomes particularly important in Ontario's climate extremes. Older homes, common in established Ontario neighborhoods, may have higher utility costs due to less efficient insulation, windows, or heating systems. When budgeting, consider seasonal variations. Heating costs spike in winter, while air conditioning can significantly increase summer electricity bills. Many utilities offer equal billing programs to spread these costs evenly throughout the year. Beyond immediate closing costs, it's crucial to budget for ongoing maintenance and repairs. A common guideline is to set aside 1 to 3% of your home's value annually for maintenance and repairs. For a typical Ontario home valued at $800,000, that's $8,000, $24,000 yearly, a significant amount that many first-time buyers underestimate. Ontario's seasonal climate creates specific maintenance requirements. Fall, gutter cleaning, furnace servicing, weather stripping. Winter, snow removal, ice dam prevention, pipe protection. Spring, roof inspection, foundation checks after freeze-thaw cycles. Summer, air conditioning maintenance, deck and exterior upkeep. For condos, monthly maintenance fees cover building upkeep, but you're still responsible for everything within your unit. Additionally, special assessments can be levied if the reserve fund is insufficient for major repairs, potentially costing thousands unexpectedly. Establishing an emergency fund specifically for home repairs will prevent financial stress when inevitable maintenance issues arise. We've covered the major hidden costs and legal considerations for Ontario home buyers, from land transfer taxes and legal fees to insurance, utilities, and maintenance reserves. When budgeting for your home purchase, plan for closing costs of approximately 3 to 5% of your purchase price beyond your down payment. For a typical $800,000 Ontario home, that's $24,000 to $40,000 in additional costs. I recommend creating a detailed spreadsheet of all anticipated expenses and consulting with your real estate agent, lawyer, and mortgage professional for personalized estimates based on your specific situation and location. In our final video of this series, we'll explore success strategies for first-time buyers in Ontario's challenging market, helping you overcome these hurdles and achieve your homeownership goals. Thanks for watching, and if you have questions about costs or legal considerations, drop them in the comments below. Please subscribe to this channel.